finna go? Well, Jordan not here. So how you finna get ready to go? Welcome in, welcome in. Come on in, family. Come on in, family. Share this live. Share the live to some people and tell them to share it. Tell your mama and your dad and them to come on in. Well, thank you, Rebecca. Thank you. About to do a little presentation on this thing that's called tinnitus. Give it a couple more minutes. What's up, DJ? Mm. Give it a couple more minutes. Let some other people come on in. Go ahead and talk about this thing called tinnitus, because when it came to information, we was lied to, y'all. We've been lied to. Well, you gotta say hi to me first. Say hi to me first. Come in here and just start demanding things. You know. So well, don't look like anybody else coming in. So just gonna get into it. Tinnitus in the right ear. Tinnitus is a case of ear rings. When our ears ring, um, your left ear and your right ear, they both have spiritual meanings and physical meanings behind the ringing. And so when it comes to the right ear, we are When the right ear is ringing on a spiritual level, you know, for starters, when your right ear rings, we're being called to action. We're being called to do something. Hi, Valeria. How are you? Adam, how are you? And so when, when we're being called to do something, it's usually because we're not doing something, you know. Either we're not doing it or we're being called to do something. Either way it goes, we're not doing it, right? So either you're neglecting it or it's in the lineup to be done next. So it is the yang channel to spirit. What's going on, Tracy? Tracy, oh shit. And so, um, the right ear ringing, it's connected to logic, it's connected to action and messages from the outside world, you know, whether it be your spidey senses alerting you or a message from the divine or your higher self, you know. So when we are having these ringings in the right ear, ask yourself, what are you what are you what are you being called to do? Like right now, like right in the moment. What are you being called to do? Are you just taking up space? Or are you actually trying to, you know, evolve? It's up to you. That's a question for you to ask yourself. Is spirit trying to push you into motion, from being stagnant? A lot of people, you know, don't elevate, don't evolve because they're stagnant. They're comfortable in whatever space that they're in that is a terrible place for growth. You know, if you want to grow, you can't be comfortable. You're going to have to get out your comfort zone. You're gonna have to put some power plays in. You're just gonna have to do something yourself. You're gonna have to, because when your right ear is ringing, the theme is being called to action. You know, Another thing to ask yourself is, what's the external message I need to hear? Even if you don't want to hear, right? You know, Hearing that uncomfortable truth from others about you. Hey, you're an asshole. You cool and all, but I don't like hanging around with you for whatever reason. You know, that's messages we don't want to hear. We don't want to hear anything bad about ourselves. And it's okay, that's part of being human. Being human. So, ask yourself that. Possible meanings behind a right ear ring. It could be a confirmation that you're on the right path. Keep keep going, keep doing it. Hey, 'cause we leave breadcrumbs for ourselves to reach a level of infinite intelligence, divine knowledge, things of that nature. It could be a cosmic heads up to pay attention. You know, something big is about to happen. You know, that thing that you've been waiting to come through might fall through. You know, it also could be a message from your spiritual guide, an angel, your higher self, or somebody could just be thinking about you, or like the old folks say, talking about you. Frequency clues to watch out for. High pitched tones. If you're hearing high pitched tone from this ear ring, it means that you're leveling up in clarity or either purpose. Sounds good. You know, nothing too negative. What's going on, I am? Buzzing or static. Well, if you're hearing buzzing noises in your ear or static in your ear, that's too much external noise and it's clouding your clarity. You know, which means that you're being distracted from your path. Somebody, something is interfering with your mental state and the ability to stay on your path. A sudden sharp ping, ding, snap out of it. Pay attention to what you just said or what you just thought. Because we was zoned out somewhere. Even if we were talking, our mouth was on autopilot. Okay.
Look at this. Keep an eye on this water. It's still so brown.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'll let you sleep. And Messiah staying too.
Oakley dokley. Don't forget to go take Jordan them to Whataburger.
What?
Say don't forget to go take Jordan them to Whataburger.
I'm about to go do that.
Just said don't forget. Where'd I leave off at? Hold on. That was the spiritual side of tinnitus. When it comes to the spiritual side of ears ringing, there's nothing that we should worry about. It's okay to have spiritual ringing going on. The physical side of it. This is when we should start worrying. Not worrying, but this is when we should start to do something about it. Um, when our right ear is ringing from a physical symptom, it's usually stress related, worrying about things that's out of our control, right? Usually stress related, but if it's not stress related, it can be caused from TMJ or TMD, same shit. That's a misaligned jaw. Um, Neck stiffness or too much caffeine. All of you soda drinkers, coffee drinkers that overindulge in the caffeine and you have right ear ringing, that caffeine could be the reason why. It becomes an issue if it starts to interrupt sleep, work, or clarity in mental, in your mental area, right? If you're being irrational, um, when it starts to cause pain, go take your butt to the doctor. Vertigo, that's we get dizzy. It's our equilibrium is off. Um, when we get mentally scattered, being mentally scattered is when the ear ringing becomes a problem. You know, we can't focus. Our minds are all over the place. Thinking about this 1 second, thinking about this another second, and all of it is just one big mental pot of gumbo. Got some of this in it, got some of that in it, you know, or you're just constantly overstimulated. If you're just always overly stimulated, that can caused from the ear ringing, that yeah, yeah, go seek medical attention. Depending on the stimulant, you might need to go see a therapist, a doctor. You might just need to just get away from people. And so, when we are experiencing, those issues start to show themselves, stop, turn down the static, turn down your frequency, both spiritually and physically. Take that time to declutter the noise. Focus on one thing. and see if you'll have better days, because a lot of our struggles, trigger warning, a lot of our struggles, pain, downs, stress, it's all self-induced. We caused it ourselves. We were the reason that it happened. So, some things we can do to prevent or correct tinnitus a holistic way, a holistic way, a natural way. Let's get into these remedies. Move your energy. Get up, get out, and do something. Do some light exercises. Take a walk. Do some housework. You know, wash some dishes. Mop and sweep. Light work. Light work. Because you don't want to overstimulate yourself. You don't want to try to do some damn spring cleaning. You know, that's a weak project right there. At least. So let's get into it. Right ear ringing equals action. Right? Stagnant, being stuck still equals more ringing. Common sense. Simple as that. I mean, I could just leave it at that, but there's more. Herbs, some herbs you can get. Ginkgo and rosemary. That increases your blood flow and also your mental clarity. Who wouldn't want mental clarity? We can drink this on a just cuz. We are normally making the right choices and decisions. Stress is reduced significantly, if not altogether. You know, ashwagandha is another herb. It calms overactive nerves, stress. Overactive stress signals calms that down. Sound like we can just be drinking all this shit just because. Turmeric. We all know about turmeric. Helps with inflammation. And it also does something. It sends chemicals to both ears. And then the chemicals get in there and do the things that they be doing on the physical side of the ear ringing. Crystals, for all of those crystal wearers out there. Crystals for clarity. Also healing. Those have a lot of properties. A lot of positive properties. I have a problem with crystals when people overly emphasize the crystal. Other than that, hey, rock out with your cock out. Citrine helps with your solar plexus and it also helps with confidence, speaking up on shit. Clear quartz, it's a spiritual amplifier. For all of the speaker heads out there, you wanted those speakers in your trunk to hit based on what? What kind of amp you gonna put on it? Clear quartz is the amp. It helps you with downloads and messages, the clarity of it. Invest in the crystal. Detox, 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 detox. Not to what you eat or drink or how long you go without eating. No, no. This goes from media, social media, whatever type of media, not just social. What the hell you watch on TV, what the hell you read, what the hell you listen to on the radio. Cut your screen time before bed. This will help detox the body. This will help eliminate that external noise. This will help with all of that. You're getting all of those toxins. We should be detoxing anyway, not just when we get sick or something needs to be fixed. Breath work, meditation. If you don't do any of that, guess what? More physical induced ringing. Try not to multitask. Even though there's no such thing as multitasking. Even though there's no such thing as multitasking. Don't do the thing that you think is multitasking. There's no clarity there. You're going to induce some stress because you're going to this. Can't happen. Last but not least, journal. Journal, journal, journal. Journaling is so important when it comes to leveling up on a spiritual level, evolving on a spiritual level, on a solar level. Journal your day. Different type of journals we can have. But for tonight's presentation, journal the things you was thinking, the things you said, what was going on in your mind, in your matrix when your ear started ringing. Did you have a question and your ear started ringing and then somebody said something? May not have been to you, but whatever it is that they said could have been your answer. Be present, y'all. Be present to be aware to evolve. So don't be out here with your zipper down, not knowing how to cure a right ear tinnitus. I'm gonna get out this thing. I enjoyed y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Remember, you're all stars, so shine like one.